Yo, we live once again. DJ Hamster Keys in the building. Black musician. Make some noise. So I'm about to bring the panel up in a second. Topic today is relationships. So panel coming up. What up, Gooch?
Yo, what's good?
Catty was shaking.
Hey, what's going on?
Shawn, what up? This nigga on mute.
Put him in the fucking bed.
Look,
Wow, what's up?
Wine, what's up? Oh, you gotta say man, like.
Hey, bro. Hey, man. Hey, go ahead on.
Hey, Shawn, I know you're in some type of tech, so if that microphone thing is crossed out, that means you're on mute.
Dang. Get that boy.
I muted myself because I was snacking, so I didn't want the crunching and all that to be on the microphone. So
I appreciate it. You know what? Let's make some noise for that. Thank you, sir.
All right, good man.
This might be rich. Before I start the topics, I'm gonna let the panel introduce themselves. We start from my left. Corey, go ahead.
Yo, what's up? This Corey. I'm a relationship expert. They call me Lil Kevin Samuels. Holla at me.
Indeed. Catty.
Hey, Catty C. Nothing much here but the truth. So, hey.
I respect it. Gooch, what up?
Yo. This is Goose right here. I don't know if I consider myself the love guru, but I've been good at this thing in love, for quite some time. So
okay.
Yeah, I appreciate. I like the Barry White.
I'll drop some gems, hopefully.
No doubt. Shawn was good.
He's been looking for a long time.
Yo. I'm probably the most experienced and the least successful in these relationship conversations. Well qualified.
Indeed.
Okay.
So
that's a good one, Shawn.
Yeah, that was so. First topic, right? I had a friend in high school, right? I basically learned all sex techniques from her, but we were just friends. But throughout all her boyfriends and my girlfriends, we still managed to do it, right? Because in high school, that's basically what you're doing. So I guess my first question is, can men and women actually be friends platonically? Ladies first.
I'll do it. Yes, short answer. However, when we talk about relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship or a platonic relationship, there's always an initial attraction there, period. Especially when it comes down to the opposite sex. So, yes, you can have platonic friends. However, I do feel like there is oftentimes an attraction on one end or the other, not necessarily mutually agreed upon, but somebody out of the two wants it at some point in time. I feel that way. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, because I have males, all of y'all are my homies, right?
Oh yeah.
Through trial and tribulation, trial and error and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. But it could work.
that. Okay. Respect. Shawn, how about you? What you think?
No, not platonic. Not if they are individual friends. No.
What you
If
mean?
you meet a woman and she's your homie's wife or your co-worker's wife or something like that, that's an easier, that's a more palatable friendship to have with a woman. Because if not, then if you're an individual friend of this woman or a woman's individual friend of a man, there's always going to be some leeway, some uncomfortable gray area that I don't think is real. I don't think it's possible.
Okay. Gooch.
I don't know. I kind of agree with that. I also, want to push on that. I think, people can have platonic friendships, but I guess it's also, going back to Shawn's point where it depends on where you're at or where you're at in a relationship, right? So if you're single, then people can hang with those friends more than, to Catty's point, then as they hang out more, then something might happen. versus if they not in a if they are in a relationship, then they wouldn't hang out as much, but they can keep it more platonic than if they couldn't. But I think it's possible. I got a lot of friends that I'm not thinking about in that way that Catty mentioned.
Oh wow.
A mess.
Wow. I would say I think it's tough, man. Especially if they're attractive, right? So I think if you find your friend attractive, it's tough to just be friends with them, right? Like I think at some point y'all might, be in a setting to where if y'all are attracted to each other, one of y'all may like, push the boundaries on that friendship or whatever. But if y'all aren't like at all attracted to each other, I think absolutely it could work. But if y'all are attractive, nah, at some point y'all gonna mess that up.
So you got to be ugly to be a friend.
One of them got to be ugly.
Yeah, somebody got to be
Yeah,
ugly.
one of the friends got to not both of them. One of the friends got to be ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
Man, that's cold blooded. Nobody
Yeah.
walking all circles talking about who the ugly one, right?
I mean,
The friend.
Yeah. You could start off as just friends, but then y'all had that night where y'all chilling and y'all had one too many glasses of wine, and if y'all find each other attractive, then somebody gonna be trying to make a move, and then the friendship ain't a friendship no more.
So, what if she ugly with a fat ass?
Mm. I would say if if you would smash, then y'all probably can't be friends because you gonna get an opportunity. So for me, if someone's really your friend, then y'all could be like in any space. Like she might could come over and hang out, watch TV or whatever. Y'all are real friends, right? But if a chick with a fat ass come over and watch TV, y'all chilling, and you try to smash, she ain't really the friend. Like she's just a friend now because you hadn't smashed it.
That's and I think that's the overart because all these answers have caveats to them.
mm-hmm.
Like there's too many nuances that yeah, we kind of friends, but if shit go another way, who knows,
Right.
right? So it sounds like there's more consensus, like it's too up in the air. So even though we try to find some wiggle room, it sounds like Shawn was probably the most on point. Like even when I first met Catty, where the hell I meet you at? Ozio's or some shit.
Ozio.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, somebody put the whole dagger in anything I was trying to do. I ain't gonna say no names, but
Oh wow.
Fucking bitch. Put him in the
It,
fucking bitch. Get him out.
it was a hater at OZO's, bro.
Ooh, a
nah,
strong hater.
cape on,
Wow.
Put him in the fucking bitch. Get him out.
right? So, but then obviously as our relationship matured, like, but it takes so long to get to that
Yeah.
point, right? And
Yeah.
even like you
What
have
is
conversations like, yo, what if this, what it like people do that too often for I think it to be a genuine friendship, right? Because if Corey fell asleep next to me drunk, he's just gonna be sleeping drunk.
Right.
It's not a thing. But when it's a woman, it's always like something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And then
it's difficult.
also
It's difficult.
too.
Sorry, go ahead, Kat.
Oh, yeah. No, I was thinking about like if you're trying to date someone, because like even for me, all of y'all are the homies. If I'm dating a dude and I tell him I have like a lot of homies, he's gonna ask me, well, why do you have a lot of homies? Like, did you smash any of the homies? That's always the first question. And then if I'm
Yes.
just like, no, I haven't, and then and here's another thing too. I think a lot of times as men, y'all try to act like y'all don't judge other men, meaning like y'all don't know who's attractive versus who's not. But when you're dating a woman and you come around her homies, you know who look good. You know
Yeah.
one of the homies is like, kind of like, is competing against you in a sense. So, it's hard for a woman to date a guy having homies that are attractive, even if she's just like, it's straight platonic, ain't nothing ever happened. There's always a possibility because
Well, I don't have that problem because my woman can't have no female, no male friends.
what about you? Can you have female friends?
Sure, because I'm strong enough to handle that pressure. My woman can't
I
have no
mean,
male friend.
to
So
kind
she's
of
not
pick
strong enough, is what you saying.
She could be tempted,
well,
Game is strong. Yeah, on these streets, you know what I'm saying? I don't want these sharks to get her.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yours is a little weak, so she shouldn't have no worries with you.
Not mine. Come on now.
Yours
to
is a little
piggyback
weak. Just
to piggyback on what Caddy was
Where my
saying is
resume at?
to
Sorry.
piggyback on what Caddy was saying is difficult even in a relationship to develop an organic friendship
yeah.
with the opposite sex. if you're in a relationship. Because what does
Yeah.
that look like, right? Like, I don't know, the homie coming over, they just chilling on the couch and you walk in the house. That's that's
Mm-mm.
not gonna feel good. You know what I mean? Like even
Right.
if it is platonic, it's still not gonna feel good to you or your partner or whoever, your spouse, whoever, right? So that
Right.
it is contingent on your relationship status as well. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're single, you can have as many single women friends as you want, right?
Right.
Because
Platonically too,
it
and
can go wherever, right? That's
yeah,
why you can be a friend.
yeah, because you're just moving. But once you involve yourself in a relationship, that it doesn't work the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It
But
doesn't
can't you
work.
still like have a friendship if you there's like the respect there, right? So like you're gonna have your friend over, then your friend should be over when your spouse is over. If it's the
Right.
opposite sex, right? So
Why?
if
Why
it
though? Why though? Is it a real friend if your spouse got to monitor the situation? Like I
no,
don't have to
just
call my
it's just
spouse over if y'all
it's
come
just a
over.
respect factor. It's just a respect
Yeah.
factor. Like I wouldn't, wouldn't put nobody in a situation to think anything. You know what I'm saying? And make anybody
Right.
uncomfortable. And that's my crib anyway. So that's the temple. So you know what I'm saying. But I would recommend if I'm going to do that, yeah, she would have to be over.
Right.
Like she would have to be there. My wife would have to be there. So
Take some tips, Corey.
Nah, but see that don't sound like real friendship, right? So my real friends, I don't have to give my wife a heads up if Hamp or Shawn coming over because they're my friends, and she know that we just friends. Now, if I gotta give my wife a heads up, that means she thinks something might could happen, and that means we ain't just friends. Like I don't know.
You never want to create an awkward situation. Like your home is like your safe space, and you never want your wife to come home, see you on a couch with me, just
With the
chopping it
homie,
up,
yeah.
with, but maybe we're not what is it, 2 feet apart, 6 feet apart, and we just look a
Mhm.
little too comfy. You
All
never
right,
want her to have like a perception that there might be something else going on. So to avoid
gotcha.
that, we could just meet outside.
So we associates. I got you. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Why it gotta be all
Mhm.
that though?
If you
Cause my friends move differently. My friends come over.
Does her male friends come over?
My friends come over.
Does
It's
her
not
male
that
friends come
simple,
over
man.
though?
she
You
don't
make
have
it
male
seem
friends.
but
Corey, you
no,
make
but
I just
see,
went over that.
hold on. Nah, but if your friends come over, her friends come over too, right?
exactly.
So if
And that's true. And I
she
just
got
told you she
Joe's,
don't have no male friends.
well, if what if she developed one?
She can't.
yeah.
She
And
can't.
see,
What's
nah, cause
wrong with you?
why? Because most dudes, 90% of dudes not trying to make real friends, and I ain't got time to try to figure out if this is the 10% or the 90%. You know
And
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
chunk of women not trying to make friends either. They want to husband someone up too. So what you
I feel like
saying?
women are more genuine into making friends than men are. Men always have like another motive up their sleeve. You got to watch them, or most
What?
of them do. And I ain't got time to try to figure out which ones do and which ones don't. So we just cut them all off.
Well, I'm a key you in. Women, we have motives too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But it seems to be less likely, right? Less often that women have these ulterior motives. At least they don't reveal themselves as much.
not in DC.
What you mean?
I feel like the women in DC different. Like it's like every woman for themselves.
Mm.
So if you're a good guy and we know you're a good guy, we just there's a tendency for women to take to a man that we know is a good man,
Regardless of
regardless
the
of his
situation.
status. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But so I guess we kind of tapered into it, and I wanted the topics to kind of intertwine. So, how do friends look when you're in a relationship, and then how do friends look even more so if you're in a marriage? I know those are kind of two different levels, but principles should probably still be the same.
Hmm.
So for me, right, my wife had a friend that was like in New York, right? Always platonic, right? So on and so forth, right? And so the dude didn't come to the reception, right? And she was like hurt by that. And that shit made me so angry, like sick to my stomach, like me, like this another nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it just, and she was feeling some type of way about all her friends who didn't come, but it was a man who her feelings was hurt by. I couldn't fade that. You know what I mean? I couldn't stomach it. So I had to call my boy, like, yo, don't call my house, don't call none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you call her friend?
Damn right. Hell yeah. I said she
Oh,
hurt. I feel some type of way. I'm gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? Um,
Because he made her feel bad.
yeah, and plus it
Okay.
was a dude that made her feel bad.
I don't know
Okay.
about this, man. That seems a little insecure right there, bro.
But hey, call it what you want.
Um,
But you know,
so my man didn't do anything. He all he did was not show up. But because she feels some kind of way that he didn't show up, you got a problem with him?
it was a dude
But
though,
it
right?
seems like a
Feelings
connection
were hurt.
there.
So
Hemp was ready to let him go a long time ago.
yeah,
He was
well, yeah,
just looking for a reason. He was like,
It,
"Oh,
Yeah, he
this
was
is
looking
it.
for a reason.
it ain't
Bye."
have it ain't have nothing to do with showing up or not showing
Right.
up
no,
whatsoever.
everybody can get their turn. Let me just finish so I can preface the question so we can get understanding, right? I was trying to do things that I was not really comfortable with, right, in the first place. Because I
Mhm.
feel how Corey was articulating, like, we have mutual friends or we don't have friends. But it is also much more lopsided from man versus the woman, too. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes we in a relationship because she made a difference on us. We ain't looking for relationships. So when we get in one, I think our investment is there for the most part. And so it's different. And women usually don't have ulterior motives. Well, we don't think they do as much as men do anyway. So in a relationship, how do those friendships, quote unquote, with the opposite sex look at that juncture? Caddy was Caddy, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean it's inevitable. Like relationships have to shift. Once you decide to get into a relationship, you have to um, really decide even before you get into a relationship whether or not you're willing to change the friendships that you have in order to accommodate the relationship that you're trying to foster and build. For me, I'm the type of person once I'm in a relationship, like it's a wrap. I could care less about everybody else, Like I still appreciate my friends, but my value is in my partner now, and she takes precedent. So I mean, I think it's easier for me. I think for men, you guys hold on to your relationships a lot more than women do. Women, we hold on to our partners more. Like we hold on to you as a man. Like you guys are our best friend, and then everyone comes secondary. Um, but I've seen, and I was married before. I've seen instances where me and my ex husband we went at it because his best friend was a female, and me and her did not get along, and he was not willing to let her go.
Mm.
So I eventually I had to peace out.
Okay, respect. I got a lot of follow up for your ass. Okay, Corey, what's up?
Man, I would say, it's a tough situation, man. Like, I think like my wife would tell me like, yo, you can't have no female friends. I don't know if she say it jokingly or she be serious. I can't really tell. But I'm like, it's not realistic to think that I'm gonna go the rest of my life without ever making friends with a woman. I think that that's not realistic. So I think we have to figure out like what does that friendship look like, or what can female friendship look like. And I think, honestly, it's probably not gonna look like a real friendship. It's probably gonna look like more of associates than what I would consider friends. You know what I'm saying? Like a friend is like if she needed like, her couch moved and she called me, I could go over and do it. You know what I'm saying? My wife would probably trip if I went over her house to move her couch. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you can have a real your spouse not gonna allow you to have a real friendship. So I think really once you become like in a relationship, your friendships with females or the opposite sex is gonna become like associates type of thing more than
Mhm.
friendships. I don't think you have a real friendship.
Okay, Gooch.
I can agree with Corey, and I think that the dynamic can change if that person eventually finds somebody to be with too. So then everybody can be friends together, right? So like, but if that person is just third wheeling it, and, you know what I'm saying, and not really trying to get out there, and then you got to wonder about that friend, and then that dynamic changes. But I think it's important, that even friends have that conversation with each other, like, yo, about being in a relationship, like, so if we was hanging like this, like, it's gonna have to change, and it's just out of respect factor for the partner, right? And so, we can still stay in contact, but then also that friend should also, make their way into, be both of their friends, I guess, in a sense. So, because now that it's two, that came to one. Now, if we're gonna be friends, we all friends, right? So because whatever's gonna happen, I want to be, comfortable with everybody, everything, because stuff happens sometimes. But I just think that's my point of view on it.
Okay, Shawn.
I think we've all been in, probably similar situations where we've been the friend outside of the relationship, right? Where you've had to kind of like move yourself back, like step back a little bit, just be maybe not because something happened, but just you don't want the impression to be the wrong way, right? Like I've had female friends who have gotten into relationships, and I do it instinctively, like, "Hey, I know you got a man. I'm not gonna press you. We ain't gotta hang like that." Just so to take the pressure off of them, because I don't want them to feel like, "Oh no, that's my friend Shawn. We just friends." But you got to convince your man that I'm just a friend. Once you start having to convince people of something, that's already like a step sideways or backwards. So that's never a good sign or a good feeling to have when you're in a relationship, that you got to convince somebody that somebody else don't want to do anything intimate with you outside of their relationship. So I mean, even respecting that from the outside in, I would want the same respect awarded to me in a relationship. Like if my woman is in a has a friendship with a man that is platonic, uh, I'm not saying it has to end, but I definitely need to be involved in what they got going on. You know what I mean? and does that change it to a friendship to an associate? Maybe, but I mean, I don't know anyone who would be comfortable like, oh yeah, go get your nails done. Y'all good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody in their right mind would do that, right? Because you don't want someone else to have that much access to your woman or your person.
Well, my thing is like, why do you need to see friends?
You
Like
don't.
we
You
don't like,
don't.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Wait, why you need to see your friends?
You
yeah,
don't.
like you
You
Are we
don't
don't.
need to
friends
see.
if we don't hang out? What do we wait?
Yeah,
And we
you
know.
are friends if you don't hang out. Like you don't have to hang
Nah.
out to be friends with someone.
Yeah, not see that y'all in the social media age. We feel like if we follow each other on Instagram or Facebook, we friends. Like friends a real thing. Like we gotta friends gotta be there for each other. They hang out with each other. They spend time with each other. We don't see each other. We ain't friends.
You know any old couples with platonic friends on the
Right.
side?
I don't. So my parents are still together. My dad, my mom and dad don't have no friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be
They got
that. It'd be just
they,
them.
they
Yep.
hang out with other couples. They hang out with other couples. That's it.
Exactly. And they
I was
still
saying.
together, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's just
Nobody
true.
that shit ain't real. That's
No,
not.
it's not.
But that's why I need all my guy friends to meet some women so we can all hang out as couples. We go couple strips. Yes.
Look, my friends is Porsha, Shawnees, Millie, you know, and Catty. Look,
Yeah,
and
there we
Ayana.
go.
Yeah,
Anything more than that, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
that's
know,
real.
even more true. Like this, just me. Like I don't have like any of your wives like phone numbers. Like I can get in touch with them, like Instagram, group me, whatever.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
Yeah.
can get like if they needed something, if you needed me to help them. But like I don't have their phone numbers. Not like purposely, but not by accident either.
Yeah.
And
I
maybe it's
think
just me.
I don't see a pro. I don't see a problem with that though.
No,
I think.
it's a problem, but it's just I don't really need their phone number.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Obviously, I'm like, hey, Gooch, what's Portia's phone number? I gotta ask her something about the school. He would be like, all right, here it is, right? But
mhm.
it's just there's a little bit of level to that I just and it's probably just me mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just with the social media and such, I can still get in touch with.
Yeah, as long as you got contact information, you can get in contact with them. You good. You don't necessarily need their number. I feel that.
You
yeah,
know,
and I kind of see that differently because Ayana got all y'all numbers except for Gooch. And
Yeah.
she talks to all of y'all separately outside of me. And for me, it was important for her to know
yeah,
that we're just friends and that she has the same level of access to
yeah,
you all as I do. Because again, you have to build security in a relationship. Security just isn't given, just
Right.
like trust isn't just given. You have to kind of create an environment where your partner feels like they can trust you and they can trust your friends too. And they can trust situations where you may be alone with your friends because they know y'all. So
yeah.
I agree.
That's true too. Yeah, and especially like when you guys first got together, like we were always out and about, right? So
hmm
it was good for her to get that comfortability and that
yeah.
trust.
She
Um,
ain't believe me. She ain't believe me about y'all until she was around y'all. Then she was like, okay, it makes sense.
Mm,
yeah.
right.
I remember one time I knew something was up because I hit you on something. I'm like, yo, Catty, what's your friend name? That's the first time you left me on red. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, no, like on some real shit. Like I don't think Corey did, but Shawn, yeah, you definitely did try to holler, and I was like, she is off limits,
It was it
bro.
was at
That's mine.
it was the 4th of July. It was the
Oh,
4th
Oh,
of July
yeah.
cookout. You was
I probably didn't try to holler because I knew Shawn was trying to holler.
so Caddy walked up.
Go to the
Caddy
bathroom.
said, he said, nah, Shawn, not this,
yeah.
not this.
Yeah, and disclaimer that was years ago, right? But
Yeah. Of course.
before
Sure,
everything, but
sure.
yeah. So it was so now. This is kind of like my third question, but since Caddy kind of prefaced it with this idiot of a ex husband she had, right? Are we willing to let go of some of these friendships
Mm.
for our significant others? So
Mm.
that's the question. But I got a question for Caddy. Like, how? Why? Who was this? Am I about to say it's not the '90s? I can't even use the B word.
Nah, this
Okay,
Don't do it.
It
don't.
might be risky. It might be risky.
it might be.
So who was the heifer that he didn't want to let go of?
So this was. So let me tell. I'm gonna give you the background on how I was introduced to her.
Okay.
Me and him were chilling. We were about like maybe a month into talking, and I don't know why we were talking about fat asses. I love asses. I love ass. Like,
Mhm.
I don't have a fat ass myself, but I can appreciate a fat ass. And so he was just like, well, one of my friends, like, she has a fat ass, and I was like, well, let me see. So she came over to his house, and I was like, well, who's this? He was like, oh, this is my best friend. Right. Right, right. So that was how I was introduced to someone that he wanted to maintain a friendship with throughout the entire course of our relationship. And there were
Okay.
like weird instances where I felt like something more was there. And he never gave me the sense of security and knowing that there was not anything going on there. And I think the breaking point for me was I didn't want her invited to the wedding.
Mm.
And this is so crazy. Like thinking back on it, like I couldn't even believe that this even happened. But he ended up inviting her to the wedding. We had a destination wedding in Jamaica. I didn't know she was in Jamaica. She was in one of the hotel rooms, like hiding, and she ended up coming out. I was like, "Well, what is she like? Like, what's going on?" I was about to fight the bitch. I'm like, this is like crazy. But he was like, this is my wedding too. She's my best friend. I want her to be my best man, and it
Ooh.
is what it is. Yeah, needless to say, less than a year later, yeah, we were done.
Yeah, that's weird.
Are they together?
Oh no, 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 no.
It was real friends, Gooch. I would say this. I'm not I've never been the guy who had like a bunch of female friends, so I don't have no female relationship that I would risk my real relationship
Yeah,
over. Yeah, so if my woman was like, you can't really be friends with her, I'd be like, all right, I don't like it. I don't like you dictating to me, but I get rid of the chick. I ain't losing my woman over. No, I don't have no female. So
so
I'm
you
that
wouldn't
fuck.
have her justify why,
I mean, yeah, I would definitely have a justify why because I can't just let her dictate
right?
to me. You know what I'm saying? She can't. She not running like that. She gonna tell me who I could be friends with, who I can't.
Let's
But if,
let's welcome Andre to the show.
what's up, Andre?
Hey,
Good
Hey,
evening. Good evening.
He dressed like a mechanic. Where the fuck you? Where you coming from?
Baby had a cheerleading practice tonight.
Blame it on the.
Put him in the
Don't
fucking
blame it on
bed.
the
Get him out
baby.
of here.
Don't blame it on the baby, cowboy.
Mhm.
Welcome. We are talking about relationships as it pertains. If you're in a relationship or a marriage, having male or female friends, obviously depending on your orientation. So for you, would you have female friends while married? That's the current topic, or while in a relationship. So we were actually talking to Catty about her idiot ex-husband and a heifer that was his friend, and how she met him was they like, I know a girl that got a fat ass. She like, let me see. this is the so-called friend that they both admiring her hind parts.
Hind parts. Dude here.
So, and then obviously that she didn't want the she didn't want the girl to come to the wedding, but her ex-husband said, not only is she coming, she's my best woman. So
Okay.
we were saying, does our friend circle change based on our relationship, but also if our partner needs us to dissolve one of those relationships? So Corey was just going saying that he will respect that. He will want to understand why it needs to resolve, but inevitably he will probably honor the request.
Absolutely. Smart man.
Yeah.
I
So
don't believe Corey, but
No,
continue.
I'm for real. Hey, look, I ain't losing my woman behind. None of these heifers that ain't doing
I
nothing
don't, I
for
don't
me.
even think it's a matter of that. Like you stand too much on principle, so I can't
What?
see.
That's true. So in theory, I don't like her dictating to me or trying to, make me do something. I don't like nobody trying to make me do something. So that would probably tick me off initially. But if she had like a real legitimate justification as to why she felt uncomfortable with this, like I ain't. I said like, and this is just because maybe I don't personally have anyone that I feel that strong about. So I don't know. Maybe if I did have someone, I'd feel differently. But I don't. I've never been a guy with a bunch of female friends. So all my friends are like loose female friends that I could be without.
And you've
Does
also
she
evolved as a man too, Corey. I give
Yeah.
you kudos to that as well. That
does
principle,
she
that principle that you had once before has definitely evolved.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm
Include somebody
about.
else.
But growth, man.
Yeah.
does
But
she need a legitimate explanation?
yeah. So like,
Right.
let's say I had a female friend like since second grade or something, right? Then I'm probably not gonna get rid of this person, right? I'm not gonna, if I've been knowing her for 30 years or something, I may not get rid of her because my wife don't like her. Right? She'd have to make some adjustments there. But I don't really, like I said, for me, that isn't my situation. Especially like being in DC, most of the women that I'm here, I've only been here for like, 10 years. So all of the females I know are relatively new in my life. So I don't really have that type of justification to be like, nah, they lifelong friends. Like all these chicks are new. So I can dismiss them.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I think it's big. It may be bigger than a justification,
Mhm.
because if this is something that's going to upset her and your relationship, that's not just something that she's asking you to sacrifice for you or for her.
Mm.
That's something for the greater good between the two of you, right?
Right.
Yeah, but
But
you can't let people manipulate you, all right? So people can act like anything is gonna ruin a relationship. I can't be manipulated. She gonna need some legitimate reasons, bro.
it's illegitimate.
You know what I'm
Outside
saying?
of I don't want this person around. That's
Right. Because
yeah,
that's
they,
usually what it is.
yeah.
But then, because now I'm feeding into her
If somebody
insecurity.
has to provide you an explanation like that, it's never going to make sense to you.
Right.
That's not true. It could be a legitimate reason. I'm smart. I could say, you know what, that makes sense. I could see where you're coming from, and then we
Corey,
can
that
go
don't even
from
I've
sound like
never
you.
heard you say no
Like,
shit
right?
like
Like, that don't even sound like you.
yeah. You know what, that makes sense. I can see where you're coming from.
I've never heard you say, you know what, you're right. That makes sense. I see where you're coming from.
Look, if my woman's reason rationale was, look,
Like, I ain't never heard that.
this chick is attractive. I know you think she's attractive, and I see her flirting with you. I don't think y'all should be friends. I could be like, you know what? I see where you're coming from. I'm gonna respect that. We can't be friends.
What if it was your friend from second grade? And
Then
she
we
said,
might. It'd be tougher. I probably wouldn't go for that.
If she was
hey,
flirting with you,
Which
right.
is flirting with me. Then we're not really friends though. See, now we get
no,
into
no,
what
no,
we're talking
no,
about
no, no,
before.
no. Second grade friend had
Right.
too many drinks. She see you at the reception. She like, damn, that should have been mine.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And
that's
she
why I
stay
leave.
and she stick around.
That's why I leave my wife at home when I go out. Yeah, I don't have these problems.
No?
Yeah, I'm smarter than that, bro. Yeah, I don't intermingle. You know what I'm saying? We at home. So it's gonna be. I check the guest list before I go out. But like, oh, it's gonna be some women there. Oh, babe, you gotta stay at home tonight. Yeah, so I do.
Mm.
hell no, you don't. You don't
It
go.
sound good, man.
Stay at home tonight.
It
Baby,
sounds good.
you stay home. Shawn, stop. We know you drinking a protein shake, motherfucker. I mean, you didn't have to hold it up that long. Jesus,
This is
right?
not protein.
Put them in the.
These are my vegetables, actually. See,
But I
So
think speaking to that, I think
learn you something.
I think you can. I mean, I guess you got to put people in the frame because, like, even in my situation, right? I think people see how much I admire, I adore my wife. That one person was like, "Yo, nobody would, y'all on another level that we wouldn't even think to even mess that up. We can't even mess that up. Don't want to even mess that up. So nobody would even, do anything to, even cross that line. Everybody's going to, stay on this side because they like what you have. So I think it's important that if you are around people, like if you don't talk about your person and you just leave it, to the point where it's like, oh, they ain't making that much significance, and the person feels like they can insert themselves in your life, then that's where a lot of that platonic stuff kind of goes out the window because now they become that shoulder to cry on. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna try to fix problems.
Smart man.
You know what I'm saying? So
stop it.
So for me, right? Like, one thing that I don't even want to deal with is somebody else's thoughts and opinions, right? It's bad enough that women share too much with their female friends, right? Because they always got a motherfucking opinion about what they should be doing, so on and so forth. So now, a nigga giving his same opinion, that's gonna rub me all the way the wrong way, right? All the way. So I don't need to hear nobody else, no other man giving my wife any type of insight or advisement, right? It's my duty to guide her and lead her. I don't even want you to, you know what I'm saying? That's not a thing. But people, like you said, Gooch, people respect it, but people also be hating. So they looking for, yo, that nigga, you know what I mean? So on and so forth, right? So that's one of them things for me. So I would certainly like cut anybody off. That's not really an issue.
So do we bring up the topic? I'm sorry to cut you off. Bring up the topic of work friends.
Yo, Trey, let me say something to you though. Stop cutting everybody off all the goddamn time. I got a mute button on my side. You know that, right? And you know what I hate about motherfuckers say? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Right, but you
no, because I was talking at the same time. So like, I started to cut you off because I was talking before you, but you was talking at the same time. But you were still a moderator, so I'm sorry to cut you off.
All right, go ahead.
But that's a good point. That's a good question, Dre. Work friends, bring it up. What you got?
Yeah, because Hampton's brought us saying something. No other guy can give my woman advice and this, and that, third. But as we all know, like you have, well, I don't like to use this term, but people use this term all the time. I talk about work husbands and work wives, which basically is just your friend at work, right? And those people are actually around those people. Well, before the pandemic, you were actually around those people a lot longer than a lot more than you were actually around the people that you're in inside your household. So, how does that operate with your rationale, saying that no, this person can't give my person any advice at all, right?
Nobody knows about the work girlfriends and work boyfriends.
They don't know about it, but it's they're still in your person's ear though. They are giving.
What do you mean?
But you won't know.
Yeah, depends on what you share.
Your wife isn't gonna come home and say, you know what, Charlie at the office said.
Well,
that's a no-fly zone. That ain't no way that's gonna happen. You wouldn't even know. She might have some influence.
You don't have a lot of you don't have a lot of communication in your relationship.
Because that does happen. I mean,
I absolutely know.
Work and things like that. I mean, they might not say, "Oh, this person influenced me to do this," but you never know what they're talking about can actually have influence on their thoughts
about your relationship.
Yeah,
I'm not just talking about like life shit. I'm just like your relationship
is part of their life. Yeah. So yes.
Oh, no.
Right, your work husband definitely, your work husband, your work wife definitely know what's going on in your life. What are you talking about, Shawn? That's a fact.
I didn't say they didn't. I'm saying that if that's allowed to happen, nobody knows that. Nobody knows if your wife's work husband is giving her game about you. She ain't gonna repeat it to you.
See,
I mean, I think it depends because sometimes.
But she got one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those relationships, those work relationships, develop over time. So it may be something as simple as, my coworker John bought me lunch today, or we grabbed lunch. So now the name of this coworker,
right?
And now whenever I'm talking about work or giving you an update, John is always included in that conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
John's the work husband, right? And John know all your business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you saying that John may know all the business. But if my woman tell me that John said XYZ, you get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. So she better keep that shit to herself.
Yeah, she better start bringing her lunch. That's
Right?
that's great. I wish, cause see, here's the thing: things like that seep through,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So I'm gonna give like so. For instance, if somebody talks to me every day, right, all the time, they'll say the words you say too, right? A lot of time women will get influenced by our jargon, right? Your wife probably talks like you. Like I'll be saying like indeed, shit like that, right? Like she'll say it to me like jokingly, but now it's a part of her verbiage too, right? And so if she talking to a man and he's influencing her, that shit gonna seep through. You gonna feel a difference.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's they'll. I think Shawn is 100% correct, but that type of shit come to light, and then they have
Yes,
an
it
office party or whatever the case. If somebody too friendly, it's not gonna go how they think it's gonna go.
Or if that work friend don't look like how your person described them as, I'm be like, who the fuck is
does.
this? This nigga looking like Denzel. I thought you said he looked like Dave Chappelle.
Oh, dang, Catty.
Yeah.
Nah, that it hits different. It does. It
I
does.
Yeah.
feel
So,
that.
hey, are you saying that you're okay with having work, quote unquote, husbands and wives?
I'm not. No, I'm not okay with that at all. Actually,
You almost
um,
broke your neck shaking your head.
no, I'm not okay with that.
Mhm.
Listen. I understand it happens, right? And how you guys how you guys said it. No, I mean, this is real life. So I understand what you guys talking about. Like, so yeah, I understand. Like, it actually happens,
Mhm.
but uh, I wouldn't encourage that because I see the ramifications that it can have on your relationship, especially
But you have
if
no control over it.
exactly that's the thing. You don't have control of that. I mean, you can have control of that. You can have control of everything happening in your household, but once
Hmm.
your wife or your husband leaves outside of the house, then you still have the influence, right? But that control is it's no longer there.
Yeah, they have to control it. Yeah.
So
Or if you have work friends, I believe you can have work friends, but then yeah, it shouldn't just be y'all two. It should be the group of y'all going out. So like if we work
I
friends,
don't know
then
about that one.
I'm
But
just
Yeah.
saying,
see, Goose, you're right. But that's going back to adding a bunch of stipulations to having
no,
a
I'm
Hmm.
social.
just
Yeah,
but I'm
I
saying
don't like
if
that
there's
stipulation
work,
anyway.
then everybody should be like work friends. You shouldn't, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Wait, but but I only got one person at work that I'm cool with. I don't have a group of people at work that I'm cool with. So after work, me and my one friend that I'm cool with can go to
well,
happy hour and grab a
that's just
drink.
also the situation.
So
Oh,
does that,
let's add
your
another
one work friend
element.
is a woman only. Come on.
Yes, I mean,
Okay.
hey, I work in a corporate environment. There, it's usually not a large percentage of certain type of people there. So you only got a handful of people that I would naturally attach to, and I only happen to be cool with one of them, and happen to be a woman. I mean, I don't have a
And
10.
you're doing one-on-ones, happy hours after work.
hell no.
Yeah, why not? We
Who
work
paying?
together.
Who
Who paying?
paying?
Everybody pay for what they got.
Gloria
We're
ain't
not on
paying
the
for
date.
shit. Wait a minute.
Well, we
Yeah,
already know that with Corey.
the
Corey,
first,
you ain't paying for nobody nothing.
yeah,
But
I can't take no money out of my household and pay for
right,
no other woman
right.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? That don't fly. You cheating then. When you spend that's
Now,
cheating.
what if your wife, her work husband or her colleague buys her lunch? Is that okay?
I haven't had that experience. I would say I would question it. Like, why is he doing that? That's kind of unnecessary. Um, Yeah, I don't think that's the move. Like, no one should be buying each other lunch. Like, y'all just going to lunch together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were just going to happy hour together, I'm not buying you drinks. You're not buying me drinks. Like, I
But it's
get
a
my tab, you get
gentleman
your
thing to
tab.
do.
No, I don't do that. It's a gentleman thing to do on a date. It's not the gentleman thing to do when just two random Negroes at the bar together.
And you have a
So,
woman. Yeah. So I think the caveat, the key is you have a woman already, right?
Yes.
Now, like I may buy a round, but we are buying rounds, right? So it kind of evens itself out. You know,
Hmm.
Right.
it's not the expectation isn't on me to buy, right? And I think that that's where people start to cross that line, right?
Yeah.
So if she like, hey, I'm about to go to Mickey D's, right, and grab the food, and I grab the food the next day, that might be more understand, or the day previous, that might be more understandable. But just as a man, I'm purchasing because I'm a man. Hell nah.
Yeah, that
But
sound
why
like
y'all
dating. That
going
sound
two
like
days in
dating
a
right
row
there.
anyway?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not for none of that shit. Like
Yeah.
I said, if a motherfucker keep offering lunch, she better start packing and let her Georgie lunch,
Yeah.
peanut butter peanut butter sandwich.
everybody lunch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm not playing none of that. Like even like when people go out in groups, they hide it in the group though, right? The group can be a cover too. Now that's when you
Oh
start
yeah.
getting paranoid and shit. But you know,
Yeah,
do have done stranger things. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So hey, great feedback, man. Y'all doing a hell of a job. So I got a bonus question. Not a bonus question because it's kind of in line, but I wanted to ask. So what if there's a friend that tried to kick it to you or kick it to your significant other, right? Right. Even just on some, hey, what's up? And they may have entertained it. Maybe not even to the point of intimacy. Do those relationships still exist? Do you allow that? Or do you allow them to still be friends? Like if they had, went out on a date or something, but it wasn't really nothing, is that okay?
Nah,
Call that
it's not
person.
okay. There's no such thing as a date that ain't nothing. If you went out on a date, you find them attractive, they find you attractive, so that's something. So nah, y'all can't be kicking it like that no more. So no,
Damn.
no. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a date that ain't nothing. If y'all went on a date, y'all find each other attractive. No,
So
Yeah.
even though nothing manifested, it's the point that the attraction was there initially.
the attraction's there. We know the attraction's there from both of y'all probably because both of y'all agreed to it. So no.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think, and maybe because I come from a biased perspective, most of my, okay, let me take that back. A lot of my platonic friendships have started from there being an interest somewhere.
Oh hell no.
Um, I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, like I consider myself to be okay, and if I'm approached by a man that I have no interest in, but he's interested in me, and we connect on some other stuff, he could still express his interest and still try to take me out, but I, curve him to the left, and then we just end up in that friendship spot. I think that that's okay as long as we're both respecting the boundaries.
What if y'all had actually went on a date though? What if you didn't curve him? If y'all actually went on a date, then but after the date you was like one and done. You're like, I don't really like this dude. Can y'all be friends then?
I still think so. I mean, because I have those. So
Gotta watch you.
what? Nah, I'm good. I'm good over
No,
here. I
nah,
keep it. I
you
keep
ain't
it
you ain't
real.
trustworthy.
What?
I don't know who Goose. Nah, you.
What you think?
I
Huh?
don't believe that can actually exist either.
Gooch,
Honestly,
gooch,
I don't
gooch,
think that can
gooch,
exist.
right? Gooch.
Go ahead. You take
No,
it.
go ahead. Go. Jake can go. I'm in agreement too, but
No,
go ahead, Drake. Go
probably
ahead, Drake.
I'm sorry.
allow it. He'll
Go ahead,
continue
Drake.
to do it.
Huh?
You
He's done it just like the second or third time, so he got it.
don't care, Gooch. Go ahead, please.
I agree with Corey. I don't really have much else to say there,
There you go.
but I'm agreeing with Corey.
Okay, go ahead, Dre. Jesus.
All right, I'll mute myself now. I started mute myself because in between. I didn't know it was a round robin. My bad. So yeah, I don't agree with those type of relationships because I feel that like we said before, there's some kind of attraction that is there, and you might have curved this person at one point in time or not been interested at that point in time, but who knows what happens as your relationship evolves, right? Like the more you get to know this person, or the more you hang around this person, how that relationship actually evolves, right? So that attraction you might not have had with that person at that point in time could evolve to something that you might have to. Oh, shit, this person is kind of like, I dig this person in this aspect, right? And it can actually blossom to something else. Even it could be unbeknownst to you to blossom to something else, right? So I would like to stay as far away from those type of situations as possible.
It's a good take, Shawn.
I'm in alignment with Corey. Maybe not so bluntly, but no. I mean, there has to be some kind of communication about it, right? But no, I don't think so. Because once you go there with somebody and you actually entertain going out. I mean,
Right.
as a man, you've already thought the next step in the process, right? Like, I'm not paying for dinner, I'm not paying for drinks or coffee or whatever without thinking about what I can potentially have after coffee, dinner, or drinks, right?
I like that. My boy Sean's a real slime ball. He said he not gonna buy you coffee without thinking about hitting that ass. That's what I'm talking about. He said, you can't even get a coke. You can't
I'm
even get
just
a
being
coke out for
honest.
him, but I'm thinking about hitting that ass. That's what I'm talking about, Sean. That's my
So
Yeah,
I
guy.
guess
I don't know if women think the same way because, like Catty saying, if she can turn it off and on like a switch, like, no, I don't see this dude in the same light no more. See this person, whoever, in the same light anymore. She can carry on a friendship or a relationship with this person like that.
yeah.
I don't think I'm equipped to do that.
Right. And so I do think you have to know yourself. I mean, I've been pretty consistent all my adult life. Like once I don't see you in that light anymore, I will never see you in that light anymore. But I guess my question for all of y'all is like I find it hard to believe that you all don't have not one female friend, not one that you ever looked at or considered having relations with or went out on a date with or tried to court, like not one.
What
Well,
like
it depends on how you met them. I mean, it depends on how you met. If I meet somebody out and about and I'm moving and they moving and we decide to hang out, then no, it didn't. That initial meeting wasn't a platonic meeting. I think you can grow organically with people in friendships and relationships, right? But that initial interaction has to be something like strictly not what am I trying to say? Strictly platonic because it's too much in between in that gray area that could be crossed because there's no clear communication. When last time you met somebody say, "Hey, I'm just looking for a friend."
I don't have any female friends that I've been out on dates with or that I tried to holler at. Like, if those females end up around, it's because somebody else invited them. It ain't because I invited them. They're not my friend. Like, so I don't, I don't communicate with them. I'm not in communication with no chicks that I've been out on dates with.
So I used to have a couple friends that were strictly platonic friends that I've known since I was 13, 14 years old. But once you get into a relationship, like your significant other is allowed to question their
Oh
purpose,
yeah.
right? So then it's like, well, I don't want to play the game where I got to defend them and and convince you. Like that's an unnecessary back and forth. It's easier to just let it go.
Damn. But it's like why? So you're willing to let go of friendships based off of the comfort of your significant other,
mhm,
their comfortability with that dynamic.
for sure.
Um, but my thing is again, like if the origination of the friendship started off with one of you being attracted to each other, but it just
Right.
never prospered into anything. The only thing that prospered or developed was a friendship,
Mm-hmm.
but because the origination there was
It was
some,
attraction.
yeah, was attraction, you're gonna let them go, even though the what is right now and what has been for the majority of the time you've known this person is just a platonic friendship.
I mean, what purpose do they serve?
They're friends.
Different. Yeah. I see what you
But
mean.
in your relationship, what purpose do they serve? So as me in a relationship, if I have a female friend and we are platonic friends,
Yeah.
what am I? I'm bouncing ideas about feminism off of her. Like, what am I? What's the purpose of me having her in my relation as a friendship in my relationship? I'm not saying this. I'm not saying there is no purpose. I'm just saying for me, what is she going to bring to the table for friendship?
The same thing she's been bringing to the table for all of the years you've known her. Like, I
But
mean,
but that could be altered once you're in a relationship. I don't need the female opinion on Dave Chappelle's stand up. I got one.
Mm.
well, that doesn't. I mean, that's not necessarily the case. Like, just because you have a significant other doesn't mean that they're filling all of the aspects of your life. Like, I mean, what if you need a workout partner and your significant other doesn't work out, but
There
your
you
one of
go.
your best female friends does? So
Hmm.
That's a
Mm.
legitimate
look at that.
question. That's legit. And if it's me, right?
Hit a meet up.
If it's my woman saying, Shawn, you don't like paint and sips, but my boy I've been friends with for 10 years like paint and sips, I gotta learn how to enjoy paint and sip.
Nah, nah, nah.
Yes. What I mean, because if it's flip, right? Everybody up here can answer this question. If their woman said, I want a trainer, and they not working out no more, don't feel like working out, ain't nobody be cool with their significant other having a trainer. It's not real. Not being be comfortable
Really?
with.
I
No,
could be comfortable with my wife having a
get
trainer.
the fuck out of here.
Like someone she's paying, not someone who volunteered. Like it's a professional. Like as long as they keep it a professional relationship.
Ain't no such thing as a professional trainer. I had that conversation with Ayan the other day. Ain't no such thing. Nope.
They gotta be some people that respect the profession and only
Nah,
trying to. That's bad. Y'all give it trainers a bad name. That's
nah.
So
I mean, but that's real though. You're not going to allow your woman to have another partner doing something that she enjoys that you don't want to do. If it's if he the same sex as you, again with the paint and sip. I don't really like paint and sip. It's cool, it's fun. They play music and shit. But if that was her thing, like Friday nights, she like to go paint and sip. Guess what the fuck I got to get used to?
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
a
but
tough
what
one.
if
That's
you
a tough
miserable? Like you miserable doing it, and she knows you're not enjoying it, and so it's like it's
one.
not fun for
Yeah.
her anymore because you just sitting there, you painting a stick figure, and the image that they want you to paint is like the sky. So like if you're not really vested in the same types of interests as your partner, it's like you just doing it to control to control the dynamics of the relationships that she has outside of you.
Those are sacrifices men make, though.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I feel a little
Those are
hypocritical now.
sacrifices
I ain't
men
gonna,
make.
cause I see where Catty's coming from. Cause I've done it. I've hung out with people, with women who do things that I enjoy doing that my significant other doesn't enjoy doing. So it's really gonna be hypocritical for me to say that she can't do those same things.
Hey,
But
Ham, where's
I'm a
your flip
hypocrite.
flop button, Ham?
What you talking about? Catty convinced me. Catty convinced me. She threw up some real examples. She was talking about working out. I've worked out with Catty's significant other before. My woman don't really work out like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here in front. Right, you know what I'm saying? So I have worked out with a female friend because my woman don't work out like that. So now I'm a hypocrite if I act like she couldn't do the same thing I did.
so what?
It's a good point. So what? It's maybe
So
risky,
true.
but so what? There you
Yeah,
go.
like I mean, we are hypocrites in those ways. And my wife, she know the vibes. She go to an all woman gym. The whole gym is women.
Oh Lord.
It's actually in Capitol Heights. It's called Her Fitness. If y'all want to check it out, shout out to Her Fitness.
Y'all crazy, man.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's the key is being real because the fallout isn't worth the
Right.
risk, right? Right. The yield of it's not valuable enough to not dissolve. You know what I mean? Even if you grew up together, a lot of people grow apart anyways. Like how often do we even talk to people from that young at this juncture now? It's obviously a few, but that person that you with is who can pull the plug on you if you get in a car accident. So at that point, especially when you marry, right? So at that point, that's the consideration. That's your number one consideration. And for their peace, you got to protect the peace of your partner, right? So, maybe Corey shouldn't have worked out with Ayana or whoever, even though, it's nothing like that, just because of the perception, right? What if it was perceived to be something else? It's not worth the pain that could potentially cause your significant other, you know?
Respect it.
So, hey, man, I really appreciate y'all. Um, Fuck Jerry Springer, but we're gonna do final thoughts. Dre, we're gonna get you out the way first because you should be records.
That's Corey. Yeah, Corey up there.
You got me up, bro. Before that, since I'm up, I'll get my final thought.
Let's do it.
My final thought is the male female friendship thing don't work when you're in a relationship. For the most part, don't even try it. You know what I'm saying? Just be friends with your woman or your significant other, and y'all just be each other's best friend.
What?
But I got it, man. Wait, that's not a good one.
That's his final thought, man.
My final thought: be friends with your spouse.
Thank you, sir.
My final thoughts are I think that we can have female or male friends, depending on your gender, opposite sex friends. But I think you can't have new friends. When I say new friends, I think friends that you can't develop new relationships with the opposite sex while you're in a relationship with your significant other. I don't think that works. I don't think that's even fair to the person that you're with. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if you had a friend that you had since you were 5, 6, 10 years old, if then that relationship is still there, then I think you can still maintain that relationship. But I think communication within that is key as well too. My wife is going to know her just as much as I know her, and I want the same respect for my significant other as well.
Appreciate you.
Dre took all the thoughts because he was gonna say something I said, but I think one thing you want to establish respect in your relationship, right? And have conversation and keep open lines of communications for friendships. And just like Dre said, if that's ain't really no new friends, but if it is, bring them in so they could be a part of the family. You know what I'm saying? And I think just have conversations about it, but it's also respect factor. So don't do things that seem questionable. If you got to think twice about it, then you shouldn't have did it. That's my last thought.
Respect.
Go to paint sip. Do the paint sips. Fucking fall in love with mimosas so you can go to brunch with her. Be her friend. Why would she need a friend if you her friend? So you will need the male perspective from somebody else? Nah, be her friend.
Incredible logic.
Be her friend. This is my final thought, man. Why are you talking during my final thought?
My bad. I'm sorry, sir. Continue.
Like I said, do the paintings. Be a photographer at the dressing rooms. You want to try on 20 outfits? Be a photographer. Be her friend. So she ain't got to look for it from somewhere else.
Respect.
I would just say do what works for you and your relationship. Everybody's relationship is different. At the foundation of your relationship should be respect. So understand what respect looks like for your partner. And your partner should know what respect looks like for you. Set boundaries, healthy boundaries, be open and honest. And just like take care of each other. At the basis of every relationship is just love. So communicate through love. Show your actions in love, uh, and let people know that you're in love with who you're with. I think once you set that aura, people won't be able to penetrate, and your partner will always know that what you and them have is sacred and untouchable. So that's it.
Hey man, great perspectives once again. I'm just gonna say straight up, your friend, your woman does not have a man that if she texts him at 2 a.m. and say come over, he's not gonna go. Put him in the fucking bathroom.
Yeah.
This might be, but I'm gonna say it. We'll be back next week, same time. Hopefully Shawn's on time. Hopefully Dre doesn't blame the baby. Hopefully
I was here before Dre.
Thanks. I knew. Hopefully Corey gets a better phone where he can flip side. Gooch, his phone flips sideways.
I'm gonna be on my computer. I'm gonna be on my computer next week, man.
The picture, the boxes is looking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, I'm gonna be on my computer next week. Don't even worry about it.
You still got the headphones plugged into the phone.
Hey, first off, just give you better sound quality. Thank you. If you knew something about IT, you know that.
Okay.
We got 1.5 IT person in here. Go ahead. Go ahead, help.
Hey man, I really appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we'll be back often sooner than later. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.